I'm live, it looks like. Oh, hello everyone. So it looks like I'm live, maybe. Let's see if I'm live. Maybe I'm not live yet. Hold on. And let me check. Sorry, guys. If I am live, just tell me, just so I can see. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm live. Yes. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good. All right. Let me just make sure that I'm live over here with video this time on over at the Rumble. Let's see. Let me just make sure that. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. Looks. I'm going to turn off the volume here. So I got video and I got volume. Sorry. Okay. All right. So maybe I shouldn't play that all the time, though. It's gonna. My poor computer's not going to be able to handle it. Okay, guys, so welcome. We are Daily Dose of Hope Day 152. So I've been coming on for 152 days now, almost consecutively. And I was guided to do this because the energies on our planet are starting to increase. And as they do, things start to get wackier and wackier, as you probably have noticed in our world. So yeah, so a Daily Dose of Hope has three parts: a bit of a talk, channeling, and a pocket of peace, which is a guided meditation. Anne Marie, good morning. All right, so let's get into it. Yeah, so today was a beautiful, beautiful day here in Japan. A beautiful summery day, like not the heat wave kind of feeling, but more of just a summery, like nice day with beautiful clouds and not those kind of funky clouds that are just like lines, but like actual like real normal clouds, which are nice every once in a while. And so, what I wanted to talk about today was sorry. Every time I get online, I start to get very itchy. My nose starts to get itchy. So, what I wanted to talk about is something that popped into my meditation this morning, and it was what do you identify as? Um, because what you identify as will change your whole world, change your whole perspective, and change everything that you do. Now, this is a very common thing in our mass media. It's something that's being forced fed down our throats at the moment. This identity idea, but I wasn't planning on going there. I'm talking about just identity on a very large scale. What do you identify as? It's a really good question. What do you identify as? So when I used to identify as a musician, that used to define my life. And so like if I say I'm a musician, then everyone says, well, what are you working on now? And what are you doing? And what's this? And then you're just like, well, right now I'm doing this. And then you always feel like, oh, I'm just not really doing anything. I'm not really myself. I'm not really up to par. So you define yourself. You identify yourself as something, and that cuts you off from who you truly are. I guess that's what I and also in conversations, if you identify yourself as something, then that becomes you. And it's like, but that's not you. What do you identify as? Do you identify as a human being? And even that will cut you off a bit from the whole gamut of experiences, because we're not just human. We're spirit coming down here, just animating these bodies. So if we identify as a human being, then we are in the ego mind. We're in that kind of atheistic way of thinking that this is all there is, and when it's over, you die and you become part of the dirt, and which is fine. I mean, any belief is fine, but any belief also will define you as well. So if you believe in that, you are defined by the walls of this third dimension. You're defined by the rules that are created in this matrix world. Because if this is all there is, then there isn't anything else, and you can't just like make up your own rules because the rules are here. That kind of sort of thing. And so it limits you. And So that's not to say that it's a positive or negative thing. It's just an experience that you have. By identifying as something, you define your parameters of experience. And so we have identified many, many lifetimes, maybe as just human beings, or and sometimes maybe as just believing in just this the third dimension is all there is, and within that, there's a lot of things to learn. Um, but if we start to kind of expand that out and identify ourselves as love, what are you? What do you identify yourself as? Someone asks you that. What are you? And it's like, I am love, you know. And if you identify with love, I think it's such a vast, expansive thing. Someone says, "Well, what are you doing?" I'm loving. But what do you do? I make love. you know, it just and it's so freeing too. Just what do you do with your life? I love, you know. And by identifying yourself as love, you can be all those different things. You can be the human being, you can be the musician, you can be all those things, but underneath it all, I'm love. And I love that idea. And so that relates to this identity. I'm not sure if I can say this word here on YouTube. Identity, politics. It's a big thing that is really big. Um, and it's being kind of forced into the mass, into our mass consciousness. Believe this, trust this, look at this. What do you know, what are you? What do you can identify as anything you want. You can be a dog, you could be a cat, you can be, whatever it is. And it's fine. It's what it is. Oh, Henry, you say, I be love. Yeah, I be love. So yeah, and it's just um, the yeah. I think it's one way I've heard this explained is that it's just the new generation and the star planets that they're coming from. This is something that my teacher has said. Um, so her kind of maybe that's where they're coming from. This kind of concept of identifying yourself as many different things, and so it's just it's just the nature of the new star seeds. But I think in a sense though, this is something that I've picked up on and I've also channeled about. Like, sorry, it's going to roundabout, but so right, genders, yeah. So right now that's really big in full front, right in the media, and you'll find probably in like a year or two it'll be gone. And so like now this word is charged and it's meaning so much, and then a few months from now everyone's like, what? Oh, okay, whatever, it's cool, man. Um, but anyway, so this word is also a trap, identifying as one thing or another. If you don't identify as love, then you can be trapped in whatever that word entails. So it's a way of making yourself small. And if you want to get small, there's good parts about getting small. You know, your voice gets really high. Sorry, just. But yeah, there are good things, positive things. It's all about experience. So, and I just wanted to talk a little bit though about there's in Japan there are the well, I'm sure everyone knows about this, the anime culture, the cosplay culture. It's huge, right, all over the world. The manga, I guess. I'm not sure what words people use for it, manga or anime, and people become obsessed with certain comic books basically, and then that kind of defines their world and their life. And there's a here in Japan there are they call them idols. I always think it's really funny. I don't know if they use the same terminology anywhere else, but I've been living here for a long time, so I don't know what's going on anywhere else. I read the news, but it doesn't really tell me what's going on. So idol groups, they're called idol groups, and they're usually like young women who kind of dress scantily, and they do these kind of like, I guess, what are they called? Just dances, but most of the clientele, most of the people going to the shows are like my age, middle-aged people, middle-aged men. There's very few, I mean, that's not everywhere, but it's this kind of culture. and it is what it is. But what I've learned is that those guys that are kind of like my age or maybe younger or older that are doing this is age or maybe younger or older that are doing this is they came from a specific starseed family, and the matrix world knew that. They know who's coming in, they know who's coming in and out. They're like, oh look, those people are coming from that planet, so we got a good idea. It's like the Dr. No or whatever, or what's the Dr. Evil from Austin Powers is like, "Mm, ha, 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 I'm gonna take over the world, and I see them, and so I'm gonna create this whole anime idol culture, and they're gonna be controlled by it." You know, and I didn't really think there's probably someone out there doing that, but that culture, yeah, that's what happened to them. They Ever since they were little, there were things in the media, in the media that they were being given that make them a certain way, and what happens then is that they are no longer they're kind of outside of society. Um, Anyway, so I thought that was really interesting, because, in a sense, like in Japanese society, it's not looked on as like this wonderful thing, of course. It's just like, what are these guys doing? It's like, that's not good. And, but so they end up cutting themselves off from their, families and other friends. And then that's the only community they have. And so it's just a way of, so identity. It's creating identity that makes their world smaller. And anyway, I kind of wanted to go into that. But what do you identify as really powerful? And if you start to identify as love, no matter what you identified as before, but if you start to say that I am love, I identify as love, it's a very powerful thing. And you can be all the other things that you are, but you are also behind all that stuff. You're love, and you can't be defined by that. Just like, for example, that music thing, just like, oh, what do you do? I'm a musician. And then, well, what are you working on? What are you doing? When's your next concert? When, it's just like, oh no, I'm not living up to my identity. Oh, who am I? And it's like, no, 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 no. I'm love. I'm love. I'm love. I'm love. I may make some music sometime, I may do all this stuff, but what I really am is love. So that's my spiel, my little talk. Um, but anyway, yeah. So let's go into let's go into a channeling, and yeah, see who comes through. And I'd like them to talk a little bit about identity, and maybe they can talk about um, that. I don't know what else to ask about. I was gonna, yeah, let's just talk about identity today and any messages that they have. Uh, yeah. All right. So here we go. Hmm. Greetings. We are the one that you know of as Yeshua, and we are here. We are here with you. We're here with all of you. We are always here with all of you. We consider all of you to be brothers in arms in that sense, and in the sense that you are all creating light. You are light workers. And we see the light that you're creating, these wonderful blazing lights that you are creating, sometimes candlelight, sometimes spotlight, sometimes lighthouses, sometimes flashlights, all of the different lights that you're capable of using. And you need these different lights for different situations. You can't use a spotlight when you need a flashlight. You can't use a lighthouse when you just need to find your keys. And so all of these lights are very important. You have all of this ability to create light will be suitable for many different situations. And that is a wonderful thing that you're doing. Understand that. Understand that the light needs to go where it needs to go, and it needs to take the shape that it needs to take. Sometimes, if things are too bright, people might not be able to see it, and it might become invisible or higher dimensional. And so sometimes you need to bring the light down a bit and have a flashlight to show where the light is, and then you can increase the light and show where the real light is, the pure light. And so that is what we wanted to bring forward today, is about light. And light is love, and love is peace, and peace is hope, and you are love. And so this idea of identity is a wonderful tool that you have on this planet. It is a tool that you can use to explore many different worlds. If you identify as one thing, then you close down many different possibilities, and you open up a limited range of possibilities, a limited range of choices, of choice points that you can go through. And this is very useful when you have gotten down here and you've gotten small, and you've taken this intense light that you are and compressed it into this tiny little body. And then when you come down here, you can compress it even more by identifying as something or something else. And this is, yes, a tool that you can use. Now, understand that with all tools, a tool is not something that should be seen as the end point. A hammer is a hammer. A hammer is a hammer. A hammer is a tool that helps you to hammer. It is not in itself anything special. It is just a tool. It is something that helps you. And similarly with identity as well. Identity is a tool that you can use to explore different places, different worlds, but it is in itself only a tool. And in that sense, it does not exist outside of your imagination and outside of the imagination of this world that you are living in. And that is important for you that are becoming more and more multidimensional to understand what is a tool and what is you. Where do you start, and where do your tools start as well? Where do you start? Where do you end? And where do your tools start? And where do you end? And to understand that while it feels like the tool, for example, if you use the hammer every day, it feels like an extension of you. But to understand that it is not an extension of you, it is just a tool that you are using. You are you, and the tool is the tool. Now, you can see it as an extension as well, and this is another tool that you can use. But to always understand in the back of your mind that it is just a tool as well is very important for you as multidimensional beings. And that is what we would like to bring through today. We are that one that you know of as Yeshua. I'm very happy. We are very happy to spend this time with you. All right. Interesting. Okay, so I'm still not frozen, so that's good. I'm gonna check over here. I might be frozen over on the Rumble side. Let's see. I can't really check. I don't know. Well, and no one can comment for some reason because I don't know why. But it looks like I'm still here. All right, so I'm just gonna assume that everything's going well. So yes. Yes. So that's what I kind of, I think that's what, so we're talking about identity and getting small. I wanted to talk a bit about those, they're called otaku people. Yeah. And that culture that was kind of artificially created, on them. And I think a lot of them, and that a lot of them were, I think it's not, the word is not autistic in that sense, but kind of like they have a genius sense. They have this thing that they're here to bring to the planet. And if they are sidetracked with all of these anime things, that they can't focus on their message that they're bringing. I think that's, I'm not really expressing it well. I'm trying to, but anyway, it's a strange world, though. I don't quite understand it very much, but that's what actually Tiamat was talking about, was that it's important not to judge it, and important to see it as it is, and understand that they have been trapped in a certain place in that sense. So anyway, I'm all over the place today. So, Emery, thank you. Beautiful and helpful message. Yes, yes. Thank you, Yeshua. So, yeah, so let's get big. Let's get big. I got my drum, my Remo drum, my plastic Remo drum, because plastic sings. And So I'm going to play a relaxing rhythm. We're going to go into what's called a pocket of peace, which is not an original thing that I created. It's something that Sanat Kumara created, and I'm just carrying on the tradition, and you can too. Um, all you need is, you don't even need an instrument. You just need to breathe and feel the love that you are. But let's begin it. Um, so today is about getting big, becoming the love that you are. And you can be all those other identities, but beyond all of that, you're the love. So let's be the love. Okay. So I'd like you guys to take a 3 deep breaths. On the in breath, breathe in the love, the light of unconditional love, and hold it for a few seconds. And then on the out breath, breathe out all the stuff that you're holding on to that you don't need anymore. All right. So let's breathe in. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out all that stuff that you don't need anymore. All right. One more time. Breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds. And breathe out all the stuff that you're holding on to. And one more time. Breathe in the light of unconditional love. Hold it for a few seconds. And then breathe out all the stuff that you're holding on to. All right, let's begin. So I want you to imagine that you're surrounded by the light of unconditional love, and it just surrounds you and it caresses you like this warm blanket or cool blanket, however you'd like to imagine it, whatever season you're in. It's just really comfortable. And it just feels so good to be surrounded by this light of unconditional love. It's good. There's nothing that you need to do to get this love. It's yours. It's you. You're just experiencing yourself as you truly are. Love. And in this love, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to regret. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to think about. You're just love. Love is love. What does love think about? Love thinks about love. So you're just in love, making love, creating love, being love. Good. Now just expand that love into your room. So everything in your room is surrounded by love. The floor, the candles, the windows, the pencils, the papers, the pens, the computers, the tables, everything is just love, unconditional love, because this love just seeps into everything, and everything is just shining now with a light of hope and of love and of peace. That desk is a beacon of love, a beacon of peace. That computer is a tool, an instrument to create love, to make love, and spread it around the world. Yeah. Now let's just spread this love around the world. Yeah. Just see everyone around the world just stopping what they're doing and saying, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. What is this? I don't know what it is, but it feels good. It feels like I'm home, more home than I've ever been. I feel like I'm home. This is a beautiful feeling, to feel like I'm home. And I just feel loved, and I feel relief. All my pain is gone, all my sadness is gone, all my fear is gone. It's just replaced with love and hope. Yes, this is all gonna work out. This whole thing is gonna work out. We're moving in the most perfect direction imaginable. Look at us, all of us. We're all moving. Yes, we're just following this lovely heart that is filled with love, and it's just telling us where to go. It's saying, hey, why don't you go down that road? Why don't you read that book? And we say, sure, why not? It feels good. Yeah, and we're just feeling this love, and it's guiding us into heaven on earth. We are bringing heaven to earth with our love. Yes. Now, the secret ingredient, let's add it in. I identify as love. I identify as love. Yes. What do you identify as? I identify as love. I am love. I am making love. I am for love. I am love, 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 love. What do you do? I make love. What do you do? I make love too. Yeah, we're all just making love. It looks like we're doing all kinds of other things, but all we're doing is bringing our love into this planet. We're bringing heaven onto this planet. Look at that car over there. It's just love. It's making hope. It's making love. Everything is just filled with love. You are the love. You're bringing the love. And you've got this because you're just realizing, because that's what you are. That's who you truly are beneath all of these other things, all of these identities, these beautiful identities. You're just love. You're just love incarnate on this planet to bring love, to bring heaven on earth. And you can feel it. You can feel this heaven around you. Yeah, look at that. All right. So this is a pocket of peace for day 152, July 31st, July 30th, 2024, 8:45 Japan Standard Time. And I hope you guys 2024, 8:45 Japan Standard Time. And I hope you guys are in love, and I hope you're making love, and I hope you're hopeful. And let's see. And Marie, you say, I especially loved Yeshua's explanation of using various levels of light depending on the situation. Yeah, I thought that's an interesting idea. Like, depending on where you're at, right? You need to bring the tool that you need for the situation. And you don't want to blind people, right? You want to just come in and slowly turn on the light and kind of, yeah. Sometimes you just need a candle. Sometimes you need a spotlight. So yeah, great. It's good stuff. So guys, thank you very much for listening. I'm feeling it. So I hope you guys are hopeful. I sure am. And I'm just amazed that the technology is working today. Woo-hoo. Yeah, things are looking up. So ciao for now. I hope you guys are all hopeful, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. So ciao.